Hi, this is Chrissy from Hang to Dry Applique, and today we are presenting you with a brief tutorial on how to use our brand new Applique script alphabet. You can see here in Ember that I've gone ahead and opened up the number that I intend to use with this, and this design happens to be from my friend Rachel of Embroidery Boutique, and this is her double fun Applique alphabet. I'm going to go ahead and take this into Editor and change my hoop size. Because Hudson's letter has 6 names, I know that I'm going to want to use the widest hoop that I have, and that's 11 inches wide by approximately 7 inches high. So I'm going to go ahead and change my hoop to reflect that size. Then from this point, I am going to go ahead and take out the inner part of this design, the green portion here, because I only need the larger 8. I don't want too many layers involved in this particular design. So I'm going to go ahead and delete the components of that inner 8 by right-clicking on them and then just deleting that color, and you can see that we've gone ahead and removed that entire portion. And then, like I always do, you're probably tired of hearing me say this, I do like to change these colors. Black is our placement, white is our tack down. That is just an extra step of communication that Scott and I have because he does the stitching over here. So from this point, we would want to go ahead and merge our design, which is going to be our individual letters here for our Hudson name. So I'm going to go ahead and navigate to where I have that saved. And then you can see now that we have several choices. As you're creating a name or a phrase or a word, you're going to want to choose your first letter from the folder that's entitled First Letter. So go ahead and open that up, find the pertinent file extension or format here, and then navigate to where you find the letter that you need. In this case, we need H. My Ember does that. I need to take some time and understand why it's doing that for me. But you can see that it did bring the H in here, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel this. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And I'm going to go ahead and just roughly drag that and place it about where I think I want it to be. You can see here that this is the first letter because the edge is closed. The only open edge is here where we're going to connect the next letter. So to do that, we're going to press the merge button again. And then this time, we're going to choose regular letters for the remaining letters with the exception of our ending letter. So we're going to go ahead and open that up here. Find the U. And then we're going to drag it over and we're going to overlay it over the top of the connection of the open end of the H here. And we're going to do that for the remaining letters. And you want to go ahead and just nudge these a little bit if you need to get to where they're going to overlap or leave just a really tiny gap so that it will look continuous. Almost done here. Now you can see in this case the letters are all the same size, but occasionally you might choose to resize this just a tiny bit to make it a better fit. And that doesn't happen very often, and it's not critical that you do that. You'll just see a little bit more of an overlap with these stitches, and that's fine too. You just want to get to where they are connected. Now with the last letter in Hudson, you're going to want to navigate back up again to the folder that says last letter. And the reason that we're choosing this is because, like our first letter, it has a closed edge to end off our word or our name or whatever it is that you're appliquing. So we're going to scroll down and find the N, select it, and insert it here. Drag it out to roughly where we want it to be. And you can see I'm going to choose to size this N just a tiny bit too. There we go. Make sure that we've got a decent overlap there. Now at this point what we're going to go ahead and do is we have to separate these colors so that we have one continuous placement and one continuous tack down that we're telling Embird or Sew What Pro or whatever software you choose to use. You need to know how to do this in your particular software. I'm only familiar with Embird. It's what I use and what I love, so obviously that's what I'm showing you today. But I think that this is something that you can universally do in any embroidery management software. You're going to want to go ahead and right click on the black, which we've identified as our placement, and we want to go ahead and separate that color, and then we want to continue to do that down the line for each of the letters that we've merged. Separate the color, right click and separate the color. Clear down through our last letter. And then we need to reorder these. So in Embird, you click and drag Insert Before Object, which was our white, which remember is our tack down. Place our D, place our S, place our O, and place our N. And there we have that. Now at this point, what you need to do is grab the 8 and pull it out of the way, or don't merge it until later and then just reorder your sewing order. But I'm just going to grab it and pull it out of the way so that I can tell Embird that I want to drag and select by drawing a box around all of those letters, that I want to go ahead and join them now. So right click on it and click Join. And that will go ahead, and you can see over here in our right panel what that's done is it's condensed it so that now we have one solid placement and one solid tack down of our letters. Go ahead and select your number, or you might choose to use like an applique letter for an initial, or a heart, or a 4-leaf clover, or really anything, a baseball. I think this would be great over top of a sports ball. And then this is something that I don't recommend doing because you're going to see that it gives me an error message as I do this. But in this particular case, as I switch the view here, you can see this is a triple bean stitch, and it's not as critical with these smaller stitches as it is with like a fill stitch or a satin stitch. It's okay to go ahead and adjust this size one more time, even though we've previously sized the O and the N. So you can see that that's the error message that it's giving us here. Typically I would say that is a huge no-no, but on something that's a really simple stitch like a triple bean or a single stitch, I don't have a problem with that. So I'm going to go ahead and click yes to give me the size that I'm looking for. And now you can see, as I show you the sew simulator here, that it's going to maybe pull up slowly but surely, and it's going to go ahead and run through this design for you to take a look at here. Let's go ahead and forward it till we get to the lettering part. Here is our placement stitch, and you can see that it's going to run all the way across the name or the word that we've chosen to do. These dashed lines here are actually a jump stitch. and then you can see that it's going to go back through, and that's that triple bean stitch that tacks down whatever fabric you've chosen. I recommend using a knit or a felt if you don't want a fray. We frequently just cut up mishap shirts and use those for these types of letters. Or if you want to create a raggy look, you can go ahead and use cotton that will fray up to that triple bean stitch line. And then once that's complete, you just want to go ahead and trim back your fabric to, you know, maybe a scant 1/16 of an inch outside of your triple bean stitch. And that is how you create your very own applique script alpha. You can, as we said, make any name or any word or any phrase that suits you, and we hope that you enjoy that and get lots of use out of this design. Thanks so much for your support of Hang to Dry Applique.